I read all of these books in May, and I am going to tell you about all of them and what I thought. So this is going to be my May wrap-up of all the books that I read in May. Okay, first of all, I do need to mention I am almost finished with Blue Lily Blue. I think I read the majority of it in May, but I'm under 50 pages, you guys. I'm on page like 325 out of like 370 something. So I'm so close to the end of Blue Lily Blue that I do want to include it. I don't know. I didn't technically finish it in May, but I kind of just want to say it's here. Okay, Blue Lily Blue. I'm thinking everybody already knows what the Raven Cycle is about. But in case you missed it somewhere, the Raven Cycle is there's this group of kids and they go searching for this king that is named Glendower that is supposed to be buried somewhere along one of the ley lines in this magical forest called Cabeswater. And in Cabeswater, the trees speak Latin, and it's very much alive and mysterious. A lot of the characters, not all of them, but a lot of the characters have magical abilities. Like Blue, who's one of the main characters, her ability is to amplify the magical abilities of other people. And then Adam is a main character, and he has this ability to communicate with the magical forest of Cabeswater, and they kind of helped wake up this magical forest. And in previous books, sorry if that was a spoiler. And anyway, so it's super interesting. And so then there's Ronan, who's another main character. He has the ability to pull objects out of dreams as he's sleeping. So the magic system in this book, or in this book series, is so interesting and so fun. And there's just so many interesting things that happen. And they also have like normal lives, like they go to school and they have Latin class and they have math class. And so they're like going to school and they're working out this mystery, and they all have their own home lives. And it's so interesting. I really love this book series. There are times when it seems a little bit slow and I am having to drag myself through the plot line, but I am excited. I am excited to get to finish this. I am so close. So I've really loved this book so far though. So anyway, so that's Blue Lily Blue. I just wanted to mention that is kind of an honorable mention. The honorable mention book. All right, next book I read in the month of May. I read Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. Oh my god. This was my new favorite middle grade of all time. Like, I don't think it quite beat Harry Potter, the first few Harry Potter books, but it's close. It is right there. So this is my like newest top favorite, like one of the top favorites. It's in my top 5 for sure of my favorite middle grades of all time. This cat, they have giant cats in this book, and they're called Magnificats. And there's so much magical stuff going on in this book, and it's so imaginative, and people actually do float around on magical umbrellas as a method of transportation. Anyway, okay, this book, the main character's name is Morgan. I believe that's her up here. And she is cursed. She is supposed to die, I believe, on her 11th birthday, and she's 10 years old when this book starts. And but then there is this mysterious man that shows up and whisks her way to the secret hidden city of Nevermore. It's like a secret magical hidden city of Nevermore, and then she kind of has to learn this whole new way of magical life, and she gets this bedroom that just keeps changing as it's getting to know her, and there's so many magical things that happen in this book. And of course there's Magnificats, which are gigantic cats that you can ride. Oh my god, like there's just so many, it's just so magical and fun, and I loved this book. I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. I loved it so much, I've been buying copies of it for all my bookish friends and just giving it to them. I'm like, here, you need to read this. Here, you need to read this. Like, this needs to be a part of your life now. Here, I'll go buy it for you. Please read it. Anyway, but it is middle grade, but it is fun, and it's very engaging, and I read it like all in one day, pretty much. I just flew through it. So, there's Nevermore. And then I read Sleeping Giants. It is book number 1 in the Themis Files. And it's by, okay, I looked up how to say this guy's name finally. I think I've struggled with this guy's name a few times in my videos. But I think it's Sylvain. Not Sylvan, not Sullivan, not it's Sylvain, I believe. is the appropriate pronunciation. And then Nouvelle, I still don't know his last name, but his first name is Sylvain. Sylvain Nouvelle, I believe, is how you say this name. Anyway, so this book starts out with the main character's name is Rose. Well, actually, she's not even the main character because it's an epistolary. So she's one of the main characters. But anyway, there's this girl, her name is Rose. She goes riding her bike through these backwoods, and then she just, like, something just kind of explodes and she falls through the ground. And she ends up landing in the palm of this giant metal hand, which turns out to be part of a giant alien robot. And then the book kind of follows her throughout her life as she pieces together this giant alien robot and figures it out, and is very sciencey. There's a lot of politics in it. Rose actually ends up not being the main character because it's an epistolary, this book, which means it is written in a series of files and interviews and all these different things that are just like smushed together. And you read through these files, you read through these interviews, and you read through these news reports and things like that, and you kind of gather the story that way. So actually, it's really interesting. It turns out that the interviewer, the guy who's interviewing all these different characters, is kind of the main character-ish of the book. But he interviews Rose, but Rose is the main character who has experience with this alien robot. But I don't know. I think you just have to kind of read it to figure out what this book is like, but I actually really love it. Like, it's told in an interview format, most of it. But then you also have news reports, like interviews, but then you also have news reports and I think some emails. And anyway, it's very fun, very interesting, very political. I do want to warn you, it is not a Transformers book, though. I think a lot of people might have gone into Sleeping Giants thinking, giant alien robots, it's gonna be Transformers! But it's not. There's really no robot fighting action. There's very, very limited robot action in this particular book. Maybe we'll get robot action in the next book, I'm hoping. We'll see. But anyway, so yeah, it's more mysterious and sciencey, and there's a love triangle. Yeah, anyway, but I loved it. I thought it was a great book. It worked for me. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Okay, whew, this next one. I read Truth Witch, you guys. Oh my god, I freaking loved Truth Witch so much. Like, I can't even tell you how much I love Truth Witch. The day I was reading Truth Witch, I went to Barnes & Noble and just ordered the entire rest of the series. Well, the rest of the series that is in existence right now. I don't know if Blood Witch is the last book. But yeah, I just went and like I ordered like the entire rest of the series. I have it all right here. And anyway, this book, okay, so the magic system in this book is the most unique magic system I have ever read in a book. No, maybe not the most unique, but the most intricate. Maybe not even the most intricate. Anyway, this magic system is one of the most intricate magic systems I've ever read. Like, it's really interesting. So, this is a series, this is book 1 in the series called the Witchland series. And in the Witchland series, there's all these different witches that have all these different abilities. So the main character is a truth witch, and her main ability is to discern truth from lies. And then her best friend, Isolde, is a thread witch, and the thread witches can see all these threads that come off of people. And it kind of like, they can see how people are bonded together, and they can see like these threads just give them all sorts of information about people, but only thread witches can see these threads, you know? And then there's wind witches, and there's blood witches, because like this book's called Blood Witch, and there's sight witches, and then like there's all these different magic systems kind of rolled into one magic system. And it's so unique and interesting. And the characters, you guys, okay, so this follows 2 best friends who are thread sisters. And they're bonded together, and it's 2 girls, Sophia and Isolde, and it follows them both. And I love good magical best friend stories, and this was totally it. Like, the characters are so in-depth. This book never dragged once. Like, there was so much action. The characters were super deep. And the characters were so well developed. The magic system was so well developed. The world was so well developed. Like, I don't have a single bad thing to say about Truth Witch. And Susan Dennard is like one of my new favorite authors. She's now on my Insta buy list. I just want to buy everything that she's ever written and go read it. I did. I went to the bookstore and bought the rest of the series like immediately. So anyway, Truth Witch was freaking amazing. And okay, the last book that I read was Invasion of the Tearling, right? Yes, Invasion of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. I am trying to finish, I have been trying to finish book series that I'm in the middle of. I've been in the middle of the Tearling series for a long time. And so I just went ahead and picked up Invasion of the Tearling. It is very thick and very heavy, and it actually took me like it took me a good chunk of time. It was my audiobook read, so I just kind of had it on audiobook as I was doing things throughout the week and throughout the month. And it took me a long chunk of time to get through this book. Guys, I don't even know if I enjoyed this book. I'm not even sure. It was definitely the middle book of a series, and it felt like a lot of things got set up for the last book. But I loved the first book of the series so much, but I don't know. I don't know if I liked this one. I mean, definitely a lot of things happened. The main characters were all super interesting. But there was just a lot of things in this book that I don't know that I enjoyed reading. This book series is about this princess named Kelsey. Kelsey? I think she goes by Kelsey, but her name's Kelsia. Anyway, and she has been hidden away for most of her childhood. It's just a huge journey of her figuring out how to be a queen in this crazy world, right? Very political, lots of politics going on, lots of things going on in this country that she doesn't agree with, that she tries to change. She has to figure out how to be, and people are attempting to assassinate her constantly. Okay, so that was the first book. And this is the second book, where there's a nearby kingdom that wants to invade now because she's made so many changes. And this nearby kingdom doesn't like all these changes that she's made to her kingdom, and so now they're going to invade her kingdom. And so basically this whole book is like preparing for war. So Kelsia has all these magic powers, so she has all these visions of like things that happened in the past, and things that are happening other places. So this is actually a dual perspective book between like her and a main character that she kind of becomes in one of her visions, but it was like a character from the past. And it's super interesting. And you get a lot of backstory that way, and I love how the author did that. But I don't know, there was just a lot of things in this book that I was like, wow, that wasn't pleasant to read. There's definitely trigger warnings for self-harm. There's trigger warnings for rape. There's trigger warnings for all sorts of abuse. This is packed full of trigger warnings. That's all I gotta say on that. But the characters were interesting. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick up the next one. Probably not next month, but I do want to pick it up soon. So anyway, those were all the books that I read in the month of May. So those were all the books that I read in the month of May. For the most part, I loved all of them. I will say, I think a lot of people would probably really enjoy the Invasion of the Tearling. I don't know. My favorite was probably, I don't know, I can't even say if I like Truth Witch or Nevermore better. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching my video, you guys. Thank you. And I love you guys. Stay beautiful, stay amazing, and I will totally see you in the next video. Bye!